Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back here on another day for the Astro Gravitational Report. Hopefully, this report helps you in your life and understand better yourself and the current energies that you are feeling. And with that being said, I'm going to get started because I went through a lot of astrology. What is happening today is the moon is going to be entering, if you follow from yesterday, the moon is going to be entering and go back home. She's going to be in the morning at the first degrees of Cancer. She's back home. Thinking about a little bit of the perspective of mom's back home and everything is disorganized. Okay. Lack of structure, lack of discipline, and you asking yourself why I'm within me, but I'm lacking a certain things. Why I'm getting it of this lack of visions. There is no structures. We're talking about that the moon is going to be squaring because she's going to be at the first degree. She's going to be squaring Saturn and Neptune at Aries. This can affect a lot of triggers because that energy, first of all, it's going to be trigger things if you have something in the first degrees of Libra, and of course in the first degrees of Capricorn. But what is start to feeling as an energy is that the sun, it is approaching the North Node. This is at a time when you do a deep evaluations of self, but also in astropsychology in there. That is when you realizing the things that are not working within you, the things that you are not good at it, the things that it's your fault, and how you can make it a little bit different, but you changing yourself and you attracting the right things for your future. So this energy is going to be play a lot by the end of the day, and is going to be a continued tomorrow. But let's get started with the report. Let's get started with what the things are coming into us. Well, 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun is going to be a little bit above the event horizon. We're going to see it as an energies in there. The moon, as I said, is in the first degree of Cancer. That is going to be a squaring towards Saturn and Neptune, and we're going to see these energies later on. But the moon is going to beginning into be in this energy of trining the sun in there because the sun, it is about 7 degrees of Pisces. A lot of emotions, deep emotions of home. It is you missing that spirit because the spirit of the sun, the authority, the character of your spirit is there. It's in Pisces. Now that energy is connecting to the energies of the emotions of the moon. This is going to be some very, very powerful moments, but we're also going to get some later on a divine guidance as the moon, it's 150 degrees from Pluto. That is this 150 degrees. That is a more as a completion after investigation job. Okay, in the yachts there is 2 parts in here. Okay, this is reevaluations of self and how I'm going to be putting into the others. The yachts, they're very interesting because they always take a look at it with this, but at 5 p.m., I'm going to tell you from now on, spilling the guts a little bit. I don't want to make it the surprises, but at 5 p.m., this energy of the yachts is going to be a very, very strong and a very, very powerful. So, with that being said, of course, at work, you're going to be expecting, talking to others, facing others, even though that you don't want to talk about relationships because the inner work, it is squaring Venus and Mercury. You want to talk about other things, but not about the relationships. Plus, Venus is also still squaring Lilith, so you are like, this kind of like things is off topic. All right, 8 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Capricorn, focus at work, great things. But what is it, the work? The work is the North Node. The work is you to create an environment where you're going to be creating the mindset in there within you. because that it is this energy that it's when the sun and the north node they're coming in together. I'm talking about when they come together. This happens once a year because the sun goes 360. Okay, is touching it in there, and they meet. And when they meet, particularly with the north node, that is the energies where you actually realizing the south node. Are very interesting energies. Pay attention to your messages that comes in because they are going to be triggering what you fail and what you need to do. Okay, particularly about the character, the development of the oneself. All right, 9 o'clock. The inner work, it's still going to be at Capricorn. A lot of the things is going to be continue working it. You may put a lot of love and values into that perspective, particularly with the ascendant that it's trining with Uranus in Taurus. Certain changes, certain things you need to change about the material world or the material existence from within. That is also going to be sextile link with Neptune and Saturn. You missing a structure? Here is the structure. It's coming. You have to make that structure. Okay. For the people who are in the business, people who are in the work, this is going to be a very, very great moment that you finally putting the things at work into you or where they need to be. For the people who are working on something of creating right now something new, they're going to be seeing it, what kind of work they need to put in to manifest into Taurus. If you are working in finances or something with the financial stuff, you're going to be realizing lots of things. Okay, so this is going to be a very beautiful hour for all those people. Now, talking about 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, the inner work is going to be passing through Pluto, and it's going to be really highlight these divine energies from the moon towards Pluto. So let me put it this way. Here it's the moon. If this is the Virgo sign of the yacht, which is not made yet, but it's going to be made from who? It's going to be star mating it from the true Lilith. And here is the Scorpio sign of the yacht. And here is the moon, right? Right now, this area from the moon towards Pluto is very, very active. And we're going to see this light up in there as really shining up, right? We're going to see this energy, but we're going to see this little bit green light towards Lilith, okay? So there's going to be some energies that are going to come in from the shadow work, and that shadow work is going to be payoff for the transformation. Hi, Arthur, and highlight. Thank you guys for coming in here. So as the ascendant, it's going to be at Gemini, that energy of duality and duality of the shadow, the dweller, okay, is going to be very strong, okay? So this is kind of like if you've been ever watched the Lord of the Rings, the creature Gollum. He's too good and too bad. But imagine you see yourself, your Gollum side from within you, right? So this is a very interesting moment to make decisions of what is going to be. But as the moon is going to be going more forward, she's going to be at the 3 degree. At 11 o'clock, we're going to see that the ascendant is going to be pointing in there. Now we're going to start seeing at the trine that it's beginning to be very much active between the moon and the sun. That's mean intuition, authority, and character working together from within itself. If that is in a family pattern, if you look at it, this, let's say like for example, if your mother and your father putting their chart and you look at it that the one moon, it is trining the sun, that's mean that they are in a very good relationship within in there. But when you look at within yourself, this is going to be the time when this is going to be a triggers your energy from this. Pay attention, what do you have particularly at Pisces at 9 degree, because this is where the sun and the north node, they're going to be meeting tomorrow. All right, keeping a walking with that at 12 o'clock, great, absolutely great energy. This yacht that I was talking about, the shadow, it's active, But since the moon is rising above the horizon in there, so if you picture it, what I'm saying, in the horizon, if you are at the sea, okay, and you look at it straight forward, and there you're going to see how the moon is going to be rising up, and right behind you, okay, pretty much this is going to be about, give it a take, like you're looking at like 1 o'clock. In there, you're going to be seeing it, the sun. Okay, so when the moon is rising, this is where the intuition it's beginning to be active. It comes out from this energy of the underworld, and it's coming back into empowering the soul, because the moon is going to be where? At the 12th house. So with that energy, the moon is finding a very, very powerful ignitions in there. Oh, maybe there was no perfect as a home, but we can develop new things. This is where the sun and the moon is going to be making the decisions of doing things together, because this is emotions. This is a Cancer versus Pisces. A lot of water, a lot of beautiful emotions. Okay, but they are going to be powering from spirit to a family. Okay, so with those energies, we are going to be continue the next hour at 1 o'clock. The inner work is going to be with Mercury. Mercury is looking towards the ascendant. Is like, I'm looking forward to talk about it. Before you talk, you have to make an agreement with what? With your oneself. But when you make the agreement from the soul level, as that agreement is going to be made between the moon and the sun, right there, now we're going to see some that, okay, the next step is to talk. The next step is to go ahead and do it. And you know how this system operates. When you put the things for perspective in life, okay, you're trying to put the things, the pieces together. You're trying to put a plan together. And then when you put it together, when you accept it, when you don't disagree anymore, right? When you make decisions, let's make the call. Let's make the talk. This is going to be some very, very powerful moments. Pay attention to that. Very beautiful and very, very great, because now the moon is at 4 degrees and Pluto is also at 4 degrees. That transformations that it comes in from the depths, okay, to go into the sky, and now from the sky to fall back to the earth. You're rising from the ashes and going up to the sky, and then come back as an angel, right? That's the part of who? The mother, right? Okay. All right. 2 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Aries. Ascendant is going to be at Leo. Very little bit of firing energy, but that is going to be working about this shadow work. Okay. That shadow work that it's coming, it is going against the characters that you're building from yourself. You can put your character and whatever you want. Some people put their character as their profession. Some people put their character as musicians, whatever their hobby is, and so on. The question is, can you put the character as the soul who you are? And put that character in there as a soul to lead the part of life. So this is going to be lots of good things that's going to be happen through these moments, but be mindful, because the old character that you built in will oppose Pluto, and Pluto says like, nope, don't do it, don't repeat the same things. Okay. 3 o'clock, this yacht is going to be some very start lining up in there, as the moon is going to be at 5 degrees, particularly with Lilith. This is going to be a lot of feminine inner work from the shadow, but that is going to be require honesty from the oneself. I'm looking to the depth, I'm looking to the things that are not good, and so on and so on. That is a one energy that is going to be pretty much adopted with the energy of the sun and the North Node, because the sun is fed up with the past. because the sun is going to be opposing the south node. And with these energies right now, since Lilith, it is on 150 degrees with the moon, and the moon is 150 degrees with Pluto, that is it's time. That is it. It's time to change. It's time to see my BS and put it into work. Since the moon and the sun, they're basically going to be working on the same thing together within that collective energy. Trying to explain it to you something a little bit more complicated than it is, but it took me a while to understand that complications, but I'm going to be showing you in a little bit what I'm talking about. All right, 4 o'clock. Ascendant is going to be at Leo. The inner work is going to be at Taurus. That is the energy of previously, as we see at the inner work at Capricorn. And now this energy that is going to be coming from the sun and the moon, now the authority and intuition is going to agree on something that needs to be done into the material world. Okay? Going to be agreement. But personally within yourself. Okay? Because finally you get in it. Being in that place where you are, it's not going to doing the same thing as the past is not going to do, and it's time to meet what? The destiny in there. And some of the people is going to be tired of being tired of my own old self, and you're going to feel this energy. All right, 5 o'clock, as we are talking about this 5 o'clock energy, I'm going to be showing you right here what is this all about and how everything gets connected. All right, here he is, 5 o'clock. Ascendant is at Virgo, divine energies with Pluto and Neptune and Saturn. So as we see in those energies, they are beginning from what? From the shadow work of the Lilith, and it's going all the way up into the moon. Now from the moon, we're seeing the situations, we see it, we investigated the emotions, and the emotions is going into Pluto, who is together with what? With Vertex, who is opened the doors for you to understand what it is about the transformations. From that transformations, we are going to the ascendant, to Virgo, to put our stuff together. And then that energy, after you put the stuff together, it's going to be going into creating that new structures and those new visions up here. That energy is important. Okay? But you're going to have some challenges, right? Challenges with Mars. Mars is not going to do the work. He's like, I don't want it. I don't like it. I have to be, because it's hard to put myself together. This energy is not going to be good with the sun either, because it's what? Of the shadow. So it's very critical. What are you going to do within the shadow? Very, very critical, because the energies are here and they are helping you out and they are assisting you, but it's going to take some what? Work. All right. So 6 o'clock, this energy of duality is going to be coming in. I showed you a few days ago. This is a Virgo opposing Pisces and Gemini opposing Sagittarius. I think this is going to be some for a little while longer, this energy. But right now with this connections between the sun and the North Node with Jupiter, the dark sun, and the moon that it's in Cancer, a lot of the water, this is if you have to let the tears falling down, of realizing how much you damage yourself or whatever it is, and whatever you're going to be realizing through the soul and through the spirit, do so. But that's going to be a clearing. If you have to be baptized in a way, or you want to take and go underneath the shower for cleansing, beautiful time for this. Very beautiful times, because the water, it's going to be flushing the things out. All right, so keeping it going. 7 p.m. The inner work is still going to be at Gemini. The ascendant is going to be at Virgo. And now we have another yacht that we need to talk about it. And that is going to be the yacht between Mars and Chiron, and the solution will be Venus and Mercury. What is your values in there? You see, if you're using values as excuses, or values are in communications within yourself about not to do the things that you need to do, you're going to be finding yourself out what you've been suppressing. Okay, you suppress the oneself. So this is going to be some very challenging things, particularly if you are not allowed to create certain things about action as a child. Okay, so now you're stepping back into the role, and it's like, you know what, I can express myself, can do the things that I need to do. Okay, but you're going to have somewhat rough time doing it. Okay. All right. 8 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with Venus. Now, this shadow work with Pluto is going to be really, really pinpointed. Because that inner work from here, as we seen it earlier at 5 p.m., now that inner work is right here. Okay. Let me a little bit explain of this. So if I see at 5 p.m., the energy that comes to me, I'm going to be working this energy, okay, at 8 p.m. All right. This is one of the energy that it comes in from the ascendant. It goes into the inner work that you're processing here within the mind. Okay. All right. So with that energies right now, the sun and the moon, they are particularly at 8 degree. They're in exact an alignment. Okay, so you're going to feel the alignment between the character authority with intuition. You're going to feel this feminine, masculine working together through the emotions, through the energies. And this is going to be a very powerful blessing in disguise, despite the problems. You're going to feel this because if the couples, if there is a lot of issues and they have issues to solve, they don't argue, but they're seeking for communication to resolve them. And that's what it's called love. Okay, that's this emotions of the spirit that keeps the couples together. We can go through it. We got this. We're going to get through this. And wherever it is, we're going to be creating this environment. Because what is the moon is important. Environment, home. Pay attention to your feminine energies. Why your feminine energies? They are more looking at how you're going to organize the home. While the masculine energy is like here where the home is going to be. Right? Structure. Okay? Character. You need to understand the character part in there. All right. 9 o'clock, this energy is going to be continue going on. Of course, you're going to be seeking at what is not balanced because the inner work of Cancer is going to be squaring the ascendant at Libra there. But as that energy and the moon is going to be moving out, right now we're seeing the energy of Venus and Mercury in there, who is already retrograde. Right now, we are going to see these revaluations of the growth and the love. Are we going to grow in a place where there is love, or we are going to be going and grow in a place where there is everything that we need and all the whistles and the bells in there, but something is missing as value. So now this revaluation is because this aspect between Mercury retrograde and Jupiter retrograde, they're going to do a lot of revaluations, particularly within the intuition, okay? And particularly of what you are doing with your emotions. All right, 10 o'clock, the inner work is going to be at Leo. Pay attention, don't oppose the transformations, right? But that energy of building a new character is going to be able to help you to understand the sun positions about where he wants to go in life. Very, very, very beautiful, guys. I hope you guys get in it. This is what I'm seeing. Here's the inner work. If you're opposing your character against the transformations, you end up in a fight. But if you're following the divine energies that it's coming in, and here is the sun and the north node, and they are very beautiful with Jupiter, the moon, and they are going together with what? Here, of Mercury and Venus. Okay? Very interesting moments, very interesting times. And now the ascendant that is going to be at Libra, it's pointing out things is going to be coming in as a sudden changes. As long you are open. Okay? As long you are open to the opportunities. Because if you're closed, how can you open door if you're closed, right? Try to open a door, with your pocket, with your hands in your pocket, and you have to open the door with the keys. Well, you have to grab the keys, right? The keys is inside of you. All right, 11 o'clock. Well, this is going to be a time of divine communications and building your character in that. Now, the inner work from Leo, it's going to be divine aspects with Venus and Mercury. You're going to have these talks about yourself. Probably some of you is going to be on a very beautiful emotions because right now the ascendant is in Scorpio. So the ascendant in Scorpio, it's trining the sun, but it's trining the moon. So it's very good to have some good time. If you guys know what I'm talking about, good intimacy time. It's going to be some very, very beautiful emotions. For those who have not resolved things in there, you're still going to be asking yourself, why I didn't change? What is not I'm doing it right? What is not this? What is not that? Could be a lot of those energies of lack of actions and fears, particularly fear from the universe. Don't wait for universe to come in and kick your rear end, okay? The ascendant of Scorpio is like I missed the opportunity, I missed to change because I couldn't done things. And also could be I did not have the power to overcome my shadow, okay? But if you're following the things right, you're gonna have some good night. And that's what I'm hoping for. All right, guys, that's what it was, the Astro-Gravitational Report for today. And I'm going to be giving you tomorrow, the 27th, at 7 o'clock in the morning. What that will be. Ooh, a lot of divine time is going to be coming in, though. Well, the moon is going to be joining the dark sun and Jupiter, and they're going to be trining the north node and the sun. Continue the good energy is going to beginning even the next day. And this is going to be a lot of good, powerful awakening. Okay? Because the dark sun, it's awakening the light you hide deep inside of you. But that light, it goes through what? Through Cancer, through home values, to a family. Okay? All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Looking forward for your comments. And thank you for the clicks, the likes, the share, the subscribes. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, you may do so by Buy Me a Coffee or do the PayPal. You can see it in the channel descriptions. All right, guys. Much appreciated the energies exchange. And come back tomorrow for another Astro-Gravitational Report. Much love.